So I grew up on the south side of Wichita, Kansas, in a neighborhood called South City. I remember as a kid staring out of my bedroom window thinking to myself, it's gotta be more to life than this. You see, I know what it's like to grow up in a home of physical and emotional abuse, as well as drugs and alcohol abuse. And on more than one occasion, folks came, tried to remove me from my home, take me from my mother, and separate me from my sister. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. Before the age of 10, I knew how to count money and sell pills right from my front door. So I think it's fair to say that when I look at my future and my life, the trajectory wasn't too bright. Ironically, on my 16th birthday, my mom kicks me out the house and leaves me on my dad's front porch. Now, him and I didn't really know each other, so you can only imagine how awkward that was. But the truth of the matter is, he was better than he had been made out to be my entire life. He was a good guy. He was the treasurer of a nonprofit here in Wichita called Hope Street Youth Development. Now, I didn't know what a treasurer was, and I definitely didn't know what Hope Street Youth Development was. But what I did know was that I had to go. That decision that he made for me changed my life and my perspective forever. You see, the thing about Hope Street was that they allowed us kids to be the change we wanted to see in the community, and they allowed us to make the neighborhoods we were living in better. And we were recognized for that locally. The newspapers, magazines, news stations, and I thought that was cool. But what really tripped me out was when we were recognized nationally, and we were flown out to DC and flown out to Chicago, all expenses paid, just for the work we were doing here in Wichita, Kansas. And I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute, so you're telling me that people would treat you like rap stars just for doing good in your community? I like that too. The thing about it is, when you come from where I come from, the thought process is that the only people who get treated like that are either entertainers, they're athletes, or they live an illegal lifestyle. The thing I really liked about Hope Street, if I'm being honest, is that they still allowed me to get into trouble. It's just that it was good trouble. And I like that. I'm not gonna paint a picture for y'all like it was clear sailing from there, because it wasn't. I had one foot in good trouble and one foot in bad trouble at the same time. But both sides of that coin taught me skills that I still use to this day. I learned about leadership. I learned how to be accountable to myself. I learned how to be accountable to those that follow me. I learned how to hustle. I learned how to grind. And I learned about supply and demand. Well, you know. With that being said, my name is Kyle Ellison, and I am the Executive Director of Heroes Academy. And what we do is we work with 3rd through 8th grade boys and girls, and we call them heroes. At any given time, you can see us working with 125 to 300 kids. And what we like to do is help them uncover their superpowers and find ways for them to use them for good. In a nutshell, you could say we empower them. Now, a lot of people use that term empower when it's talking about helping the hungry, helping the unhomed, helping battered women, families. When you look up the word empower, it says to give someone the authority to do something. Now, if anyone knows me, I can find something I don't like about anything. And I'm gonna challenge it. And I think there's one part of that definition that we could challenge, and it's the word give. I think instead of the word give, we should change it to offer. We should offer someone the authority to do something. See, when I look back on my life and when someone wanted to help me, they offered me their assistance. They offered me a relationship, access, resources, you name it. But ultimately, it was on me to take it. I had to accept it. That's what we do at Heroes Academy. We offer young people a way for them to find their purpose. And we do it through 3 ways. We offer them meaningful life events. We offer them the ability to change their life circumstances. And we offer them opportunities to serve others. So, Meaningful life events. The Maya Angelou Library. Saw on 21st Street, right up the street from WSU, next to the police station. The mural that you see right off of 21st Street, our heroes had a huge hand in painting that. We knew it was a meaningful life experience when we came up with the idea and the project. When we got to ask the kids what they thought about it, the things they said were stuff like, we're glad we get to do this together. We're glad we're able to give back to our community. And the third thing, which is probably my favorite, they said kids who aren't a part of Heroes Academy don't get the opportunity to do things like this. I like that. The second thing, changing life circumstances. We also knew we were doing that when we decided to uproot what we did in Northeast Wichita and move it downtown. You see, again, a lot of people, when you don't grow up in certain parts of the city, what you're told is downtown's not for you. They don't want you there. You're not gonna make it out of there. They're gonna arrest you there. We didn't like that narrative. So when we moved our services down here and we started bringing kids from other parts of the city to downtown Wichita, I remember riding down the elevator with a young man named Izzy. And he said to me, he says, man, I've never been here before. And I'm like, duh, we just got the building, I know. He quickly checked me and said, no, I mean downtown. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, my mom has no reason to come here. I said, okay, now she does. I remember another young man, LJ, after we got off the elevator onto the basement, we call it the Bat Cave. That's where we do a lot of our activities with the kids. He said to me, he goes, is this ours now? I couldn't wait to tell him yes. And you should have seen the way his eyes lit up. And he just ran off the elevator and started exploring. It's a nice space. And you could tell instantly that he owned it. And not only did he own that part of that space we were in that building, but he also owned that corner that the building sits on. And then he also owned a piece of downtown, an area that we're told we're not supposed to be in. Just recently, our heroes had the opportunity to serve others at the Monarch restaurant in the Delano district. Our heroes were paired up with servers there. They learned how to take orders, bring out water, food, and I think the coolest part, they learned how to talk to strangers, communicate. The kids had so much pride when they were doing this, and you could tell it by how serious they were about the orders they took and when they brought the food out. And I tell you what, they did so good that the people in the restaurant started tipping them, strangers. And you know the kids love that. So then the work got real serious, right? So then, you know, the sweet part to me was that we didn't just have them talking and serving strangers, but we also invited their families. We invited their loved ones so they could watch them do this, and they had so much pride, but then also they were able to serve the people they care about most and the people that they love. It was dope. So I brought up money with the kids getting tips. We have another aspect of our programming that we do. It's called Hero Bucks. And our kids, when they participate in our program, they earn Hero Bucks just for showing up. Now, you can get more by going above and beyond, right? Helping us, you know, if it's cleaning up after we eat dinner or doing community service in the community, whether it's with us or without us, we believe in rewarding those type of efforts. With those bucks, they can then go to our hero store. And in there, it has all the stuff kids would like. You got the cool water bottles, the Nike slides, Beats by Dre headphones, all that cool type of stuff. But what it also has is things that are really important in the home. Toothpaste, hair products, toilet paper, brushes, shampoo, all that type of stuff, right? When we opened up the store for the first time, what do y'all think was the hottest item? Okay, it was the toilet paper. Absolutely. You should have seen the looks on these kids' faces walking out to their cars. Look mom, look dad, grandma, grandpa, and carrying, some of them twice their size, But the level and how proud they were to be able to help their household, they could have picked something selfish, something for just them. I don't know if you should call it selfish, but something that they personally could enjoy, but they chose to help everyone in their home. You know, we believe that kids don't get enough credit or enough opportunities to show us what they're really made of. So we have a saying at Heroes Academy, and we say, what's the point of showing kids the world just to tell them they can't have it? And I'll repeat it. What's the point of showing kids the world just to tell them they can't have it? Doesn't make sense to us. We believe in new ideas, we believe in new thoughts, and we believe in new dreams. I started out this telling you my story because I wanted you to understand that with the right investment and the right type of programs, that kids can shock you and become something great. Not saying I'm great, I'm close though, don't get it, you know. But truly, it took the investment someone made in me, and we believe that we just need to do the same thing for kids across this city and kids across the country. So with that being said, I have 3 things to ask of you. The first thing is that you donate. Donating to what we do helps us be able to fulfill our mission and be able to help more kids. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is to volunteer. Kids need that investment. They need someone that can be a guide to helping them become who they're destined to be, who they're able to be. They need an example. The third thing I'm going to ask you to do is both. Yeah, you know, slide it in. Truthfully, your investment in Heroes Academy not only will help us help more kids across this city, but really in other cities across this nation, because we fully believe that every kid deserves the opportunity to be offered a chance to become the hero of their own story. Thank you.